everyone! I hope you had a lovely Christmas with your families, and I just really wanted to say sorry. I know I said I'm going to upload every start of the week, but I wasn't able to do that because I wasn't at home for more than a week, and I also didn't have a stable internet connection, which makes it nonsense for me to film. Please don't mind the background. I am in my room. I don't have any other place to film, so just don't mind it. Just let it be. But today's video is going to be extra special and really exciting because if you hadn't read the title below, it's going to be about my brows. I'm going to show you how I groom, shape, and fill in my brows. So I'm really excited. If you want to know how my brows went from this to this, then please keep on watching. Oh, and I almost forgot, please watch until the end of this video because I am going to share some eyebrow tips at the end of this video. Okay, before we go on to the actual grooming of my brows, I'm going to share some things. I shave my brows. I know there's other methods on how to groom your brows. There's threading and also plucking, and I personally just like shaving my brows. I've tried plucking my brows and I couldn't do it. It's so painful for me, and I haven't tried threading, but I don't want to spend money just for my brows to be groomed because I can do it myself by shaving. So what I really use on shaving my brows is just stainless blades. This is how it looks like. It's really cheap. I'm going to show you. Here it goes. It's a bit scary, but I'm used to it, and it's how I really shave my brows for daily basis. But for the purpose of this video, I am going to use eyebrow razors. I decided to use eyebrow razors for this tutorial because I know a lot of people might be afraid to use blades because, let's face it, razors are a bit safer. I'm not saying this is really safe because it's still blade, but at least it's not dual-ended like the blade. Sorry, I'm stuttering. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm going to use eyebrow razors for this tutorial, but if you can't find this, you can totally use that blade. So, let's go on with the grooming. Okay, first things first, before shaving your brows, you should have at least an idea of what eyebrow shape you want because you don't want a trial and error on this part, right? Okay, so just grab your eyebrow razors and please try not to kill yourselves. Just kidding. So, to make life easier, I pull up my eyebrows a little bit and I start shaving the bottom part of my brows, and as you can see, I am shaving the opposite way of where my hair grows. For the upper part of my brows, I kind of like slide it on so that I'll know how high my arch is, and then I'm just going to wiggle it up and just doing it again and again until I get rid of all the hairs that I want to shave. But please make sure that you're not over shaving because the upper part of the brows is a bit more crucial than the lower part, and you don't want your brows to be too thin because that's not the goal here. Then for the sides of my brows, I'm just going to repeat the trick that I did for the upper part of my brows. And again, please do not over shave. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that I use a spoolie to comb my hair into place, which also makes life a bit easier. Can you see the difference? Oh yeah! So, next step is going to be more exciting because it's going to be filling in my brows. And I'm going to show you what I use. I use powder to fill in my brows every single day because I really feel like it gives me that crisper line. It gives more clean, edgier look on my brows than just using pencil eyebrows. Eyebrow pencil, I'm sorry. But I also use eyebrow pencils interchangeably with powders, especially when I'm running out of time. But most of the time I use powder, so I'm going to show you using powder. I use this palette. You might be familiar with this. I use this with my holiday makeup look. If you want to know, I'm just going to link it down below. And I use this color called Fantasy over here. This is what I use. This is a chocolate brown color, see? And I'm aware that you might not see this on department stores, so I also found a shade that is close to it on the NYX Adorable eyeshadow palette, and it is the darkest shade over here. It's also a chocolate brown color. I use a spray bottle just to wet my brush because some eyeshadows have fallouts, and to avoid those fallouts I wet my brush so that it wouldn't fall on my cheeks and on my lids. So just wet it really slightly, not soaking wet. So oh, before we start, I forgot to say that if you're going to use eyeshadows for your brows, please make sure they are totally matte, because you don't want that sparkle on your brows because it will really look unnatural. Maybe for Halloween, but not for everyday. Okay, using this angled brush from Urban Decay, I'm just starting off with outlining the shape of my brow so that it would look cleaner and edgier. And for the upper part of my brows, I'm not outlining it all the way. I'm just outlining kind of like 3/4 of it because we're going to do something on the inner part of it later. Then when I'm done outlining, I'm just going to fill it in using the same color, and I'm just going to use little strokes so that it would look more natural. Then I'm mixing a light color with that chocolate brown, and I'm just going to put this on the inner parts of my brows so that it would have that gradient effect that would make it look more natural. Then just grab a spoolie to comb your brows, and I personally like doing this because I like my brows to kind of like blend on my face, and combing your brows with a spoolie also helps it look less drawn on. So this is how my brows look after grooming and filling it in, and this is actually how I do my brows every single day. Well, not when I'm just at home, but when I'm going out, this is how I do my brows. Number one tip is that your eyebrows are personal. There is no universal eyebrow shape that would really fit every single person perfectly. I mean, what works for other people might not work for you. What works for me might not work for other people. But you really have to know what fits for you, because your eyebrows are really a major make or break. Really depends on your face shape and on your features, on what eyebrow shape would really fit for you. So you might be thinking, then how will I know what fits for me? And that goes to tip number 2, that is to practice. I personally didn't achieve this brows with just one try. I mean, I remember the first time I tried drawing on my brows, that time I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was pretty, but it's just now that when I'm going back to the pictures that it's not pretty, and it's totally fine. I'm not regretting anything. At least I tried. Another little tip is that I remembered 2 years ago, I think, or maybe a year ago, I practiced on paper. I draw eyebrows on paper. I draw what eyebrow I want on my face on paper, and then when I mastered it, I tried it on my face, and boom, it's good. Okay, so that is it for the second tip. Practice, because you can't really perfect your brows with just one try. That doesn't just apply with your brows, but basically everything in life, right? Tip number 3, tip number 3 is, please do not be afraid with doing different eyebrow looks on your face, because you will never know what shape fits you if you will not try other things. do not be afraid. It's just makeup. You can totally just remove it at the end of the day and you can try another. Sorry, I'm taking notes. Tip number 4 is to ask your friends what eyebrow shape looks good on you. Because sometimes, let's face it, we could be a little biased. So that is what happened to me before when I tried on my brows. I didn't really ask for others' opinion, but I just draw on my brows. I thought it was pretty because I'm the one who made it. Of course it would be pretty. But yeah, but it turned out it's not. So you have to ask your close friends. Please ask your close friends and not just anybody. And I'm sure if they are your real friends, they're going to say what's right. Okay, number 5 is be resourceful. I mean, look at me. I didn't use an actual eyebrow powder. I just used a matte eyeshadow, and it's really just fine. It's what I use every single day, and it stays on my face practically the whole day. But yeah, that's just the essence. Be resourceful with makeup, because you really don't need to buy every single makeup product. And probably the 6th and one of the most important is that if you do not know what shade rule of the thumb is to use 2 to 3 shades lighter than your hair. If your hair is dark and if you are blonde, use 2 to 3 shades darker than your hair. So we are almost finished with the tips. This is going to be the last tip that I'm going to share with you. Let's do some real talk over here. If you're going to shape or groom your brows for the first time, it might be too scary. Ask other people to do your brows. And once they've done your brows, it could be your guideline. How can I say this? But once the hairs on your brows starts to grow, you can either pluck it away or shave it. I almost forgot to tell you the famous saying that your brows are not twins, they're more like sisters. So you really do not need your brows to look exactly the same. So that is all the tips and tricks that I could share with you about brows. I hope I made sense and I hope I helped you with your brows. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. It is absolutely free and it would really help me a lot. Please. And I'm just going to link all the videos that is related to this that I think is helpful. I'm just also going to link where I bought the product that I used. And yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on my next video. Bye! Good luck! Say hello. Say hello, Robro. Robro, say hello. To this, then please keep on watching. Because I don't like to thread my Okay, before we go on to the actual grooming of my eyes, I just wanted you to